pack your bags at the last minute and don't forget to set 1,000 alarms. Because this episode we're taking to the skies and we can't have anyone falling behind. You know how important punctuality is to us. Kristin may have a case of bad brain, but that doesn't stop her from giving an EGOT-worthy performance as she bravely shares her traveling tale in this tasty little nib. It's a story of determination, of heroes, and of so much crying at the airport. Plus, we get uncut and unleashed as we talk backyard skiing, Peep-induced popularity, outside night games, animal capture, and more. We ADHDers may fly through life by the seat of our soft pants, but we almost always pull it off in the end. Which is why, here at WOAF, we live and die by the infamous ADHDers creed. Say it with me. It doesn't matter how the sausage gets made, just as long as you enjoy sucking it down your gullet. What the fuck?
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather.
And we're beginning.
We're here, we're starting the episode.
It's the beginning of that episode. It's a little bagel bite for your tasty mouths. Duh.
I liked it and then I didn't.
Same, that's how I felt as it was coming out of my tasty mouth. I said, nope, don't say that, but it was too late. But it is what it is, and here we are. And on that note, welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I am your host, Grace.
And I'm your host, Kristin. Hopefully your mouth is full, so it didn't have to take in that last piece.
Yeah, spit that right back out.
Yeah.
Spit it out in a napkin.
And then spit out some more, because we got a little tasty little bagel bite for you.
Yeah, make some room.
Yep. But not too much room. Because it's just a bagel bite.
We don't have that much. Calm down. It's just a bagel bite. This is not a full meal.
Just a bite.
Just a little...
Little snack. Little Scooby snack for you.
There you go. I like that. A little nib.
Little nib.
Nibby.
Yeah.
Little nibbies. All right.
We have a unconventional little bagel bite for you today. But first, should we get into our little...
Yes. Sorry. I'm looking. Where is my episode?
I'll do some bubbles in the background.
Awesome.
Or you could cue the music.
Cue the music. We're back.
All right, we're back.
All
You're
right.
good? You've got your episode. You're prepared.
Ready. I got it.
You want to do the little clip?
No, before little pushes, I have a warm-up question.
Oh, you have a warm-up question. That's right.
Don't slam on that.
I'm sorry.
Don't slam on
that. Also, if the sound sounds weird today, it's because we're going through Zencastr. Someone's still recovering from COVID.
Kristin.
It's me.
Why you're saying it like it's me? Someone's. It's you.
It's me.
Yep. So if the sound sounds weird, it's because it is weird. Because Kristin's in her home. She's got the sniffies. And I am in the studio.
Anyway, what's your warm-up question?
So deal with it. All right.
Yeah.
My warm-up question is kind of just like a ponderance, I will say. Do kids still play Manhunt these days?
Ooh, do kids still play outside these days?
Yeah, I guess that's the first question. I feel like, because you and I grew up in the same neighborhood, and then I still live around that same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I have seen that the kids in that neighborhood, most of them play outside like all the time. The kids that live in your old house, they're probably like 7. I don't know, probably like 7 and 5 maybe. They are outside together rain, snow, sun. They're like the post
Well, that's how we were too.
Male people. Yeah, but I'm saying they're outside constantly all the time. So that's nice to see, you know, that I feel like kids do still play outside. But I'm specifically wondering about Manhunt. Like, do middle schoolers still play Manhunt? Because remember,
it was huge in
how
middle
much?
school.
Yeah, that was like one of our main social activities. Was Manhunt.
Like if you got invited to play Manhunt, that was big.
Yes, it was so much fun. I don't
know.
I guess I don't expect you to have a.
I feel like it's you're outside at night, and then it's like hide and seek, but outside at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At night. Yeah. I feel like it's exciting. It's fun. It gets the people going.
I think we should play Manhunt again.
Yeah. Can we?
Absolutely.
That should be a WOAF gathering. If we ever do a main WOAF gathering,
yes,
play Manhunt.
We're gonna have to find like an area where we can be outside at night.
Yeah, like the cemetery.
Without committing a crime. Yeah, I guess the cemetery's closed at night, except for the ghosts.
Well, I mean,
that's
it's
ghost time.
Close to cars. It's ghost time.
Yeah.
Remember we used to play Duckba in the neighborhood?
Oh, I don't think many people know about Duckba.
No, it's a game that our family friends taught us who lived in Senegal. I think they brought it back from Senegal. I'll have to look it up. I don't even know how it's spelled, but they introduced the game to us when we were young children, and it's kind of similar to Manhunt. You're outside running around at night. I don't really remember.
You have to get back to the pole, right? It's like Manhunt, but with a goal.
Yeah, Manhunt, but you're like trying to get back to the goal. Kind of like kick the can, I would say.
Yeah, kick the can, but at night. And remember, and we had to like yell Duckba and our poor neighbor, who actually really loved it. Remember, she was super elderly, Nana.
Yeah, and she would let us play around her house.
Yeah, because no one else wanted us around their house. And she's like, I just love to hear the kids playing. I'm like, oh, Nana.
She was so sweet. I would hate that.
I know. Be like, get off my lawn.
Literally.
No, she liked it. She really enjoyed hearing us play around.
Oh,
which is
really sweet.
So sweet. She's so sweet. I would write her thank you notes, and she was my dad's English teacher in high school. And so she would send back my thank you note with corrections.
That is so funny.
I loved her so much. She would always send me Peeps. And then up and through college, she would send me Peeps for every occasion. She would send me like Halloween Peeps, St. Patrick's Day Peeps, Thanksgiving Peeps, which were actually turkeys. She wrote in the Peep factory a letter of complaint saying they didn't have enough flavors. There are a billion Peep flavors.
There are so many flavors.
There's so many. Like, that's like the one thing they've done right is like there's so much out there. But she wrote in, and here's the thing, I don't even like Peeps. I'm not a Peep person. But I would always write her a thank you note, and so she'd keep sending them. And with the corrections.
It's hard to break that cycle, you know?
Right. And then my brother stopped receiving Peeps because he didn't send a thank you note back.
Oh,
I know. And he's like, how come you're getting Peeps? I'm not getting Peeps from Nana. And I'm like, well, did you write her a thank you? And he's like, oh, well, I haven't had time. I'm like, sounds like you're not getting Peeps for a reason.
Well, honestly, I would have been the Nick in that situation. I know.
It was the one thing. Well, because she would call my mom after and being like, I just got Kristen's thank you note. It means so much to me. And so I'm like,
you're doing it for the praise.
Oh, yeah. But also, to be a good person and the fucking Peeps. Because guess who was the coolest person at the dorms when they had free Peeps? Me. To like two people.
The one time you were cool.
Yeah.
When Nana sent you Peeps. Anyway, I was going to make a call out. A poll question.
Oh.
I think we're joking around with that so much that that's just the sound of poll question now.
Yeah.
But I want to make a call out around the world for our listeners. What was your outside night game growing up? Like, was it called Manhunt? Was it called Duckba? Was it Kick the Can? Was it something else? Like, what
Capture the flag.
Ooh, yeah.
Remember our neighborhood we weren't allowed to play anymore because we would always get in fights.
And Jake would cry. Elena's brother, Jake. Sorry, Jake. He would get really upset that we would fight.
Because
like,
we never followed
arguing.
We would never follow the rules, and Jake is one for the rules.
Yes, stickler for the rules. And a lot of us were very competitive, like me, Nick. So it would just always end in arguments. We would
go about more of the logistics of the game than actually playing the game, which I think says a lot about our little neighborhood group.
Yeah, we were a real quirky group. So yeah, we were not allowed to play Capture the Flag because Jake.
We made it a rule amongst ourselves that we weren't allowed to play.
He wouldn't even play with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, remember Animal Capture? The game we used to play where we would catch Jake with a rope and tie him to a tree?
No, Jake was supposed to, because he was the scientist, so he was supposed to capture us, and we were the animals, but then we revolted and captured him and tied him against a tree and then forgot about him.
Okay, so the game didn't... Okay, it flipped around. I get it.
Yeah, and then we weren't allowed to play that either because we'd always, like, rope each other by the necks, and my mom saw us, and she was like, absolutely not.
Animal Capture. That was a good little period of time.
Until you forget about someone for a couple hours. Yeah, and they couldn't untie themselves. Whoops.
Well, that's on him, you know. We were trying to teach him a survival strategy.
Yeah. I got tied to a tree once and forgotten about by my brother and Stephanie.
Well, that's
because we were playing Peter Pan and I was Tiger Lily, and apparently they were just like, oh, it's lunchtime, and just forgot about me for hours.
Oh.
My mom's like, where's Kristin? Oh, she's on the tree.
She's on the tree. I bet you were just like silently standing there.
Yeah, I was playing the part.
Waiting and waiting.
Yeah. Tiger Lily was very stoic. There's a lot of problems with that movie, but yeah.
Oh, very problematic. Super.
We don't have to, you know, anyway.
But that's not what this Bagel Bite is about. And what is it about? Because so far we've said nothing.
We are all over the place. We haven't even gone into our little plushes yet.
It is unleashed. Uncut and unleashed.
Yeah, Bagel Bite unleashed.
Unleashed.
Unpackaged.
All right, let's do
little pushes, and then we'll get into the meat of the Bagel Bite.
The meat, okay. Little pushes. Perfect.
Yep. Perfect. Right. Nailed it out of the park. Today we have a bit of an unconventional Bagel Bite.
Wait, we're doing our little pushes.
Oh fuck! Okay, wait.
What is going on? We just sang the song. All right, and that was our little push.
I was like, okay, we've done the song. Time to move on.
That's the segment. Is just that song, which isn't even a song. It's just us saying little pushes. All right, Kristin,
what's your little push? Okay,
you start us off.
Okay, my push is that I have survived COVID. I'm on the upswing. I'm on the upswing. I'm back to work because, you know,
you have to be.
I have to be. Well, I had to do a whole, I had to call occupational health and get tested, do the whole thing. And they've cleared me for work.
Woohoo!
I'm surviving. I feel like I'm on the upswing. I can't say the same for Christopher. He might not make it. No, he'll make it.
Well, we'll miss him dearly.
Yeah. No, he's going to survive. He's just, it's hitting him harder.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Which is a bummer. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, at least you're feeling better.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's always about me. So
yeah, I agree. Oh, congratulations! I'm glad you're feeling better.
What's my little push? What's your little push? Your little push.
My little push is that. So I grew up skiing, as we've talked about, but Ian did not. He started snowboarding at 16, but he has never skied in his life, and he's talked about wanting to learn for years and years now. And so finally, he was able to borrow a pair of skis for the winter.
Nice.
And there was, it snowed this past weekend. We had a little bit of stormy here in Maine.
Yep.
And we have this tiny, dinky little hill in our backyard. I'm so bad at estimating sizes, but I would say it's about,
25 feet.
Okay. I would say even smaller.
I don't think it's that. I think maybe
No, I would
30.
say 15. I was going to say 15, but I don't know. It's not. It's 20. Let's say 20.
Are you measuring the diagonal of the hill, the hypotenuse?
Yeah, I'm just measuring top to bottom, and then the
Or
rest
are you
of the
measuring
yard.
the height or the diagonal?
I'm measuring the diagonal.
The hypotenuse.
I'm measuring the hypotenuse.
25 feet.
Okay, it's 25 feet.
I don't know.
There's no way I'm going to put that into meters or whatever would it be meters? Whatever the measurement conversion would be.
It would be meters, yeah.
I don't even know the foot amount, so.
Cue the music.
Jesus Christ.
We got to do it. All our fans are in the UK and Australia and Canada and everywhere.
I don't even have an accurate foot estimate.
Yeah,
You know?
so now you're about to have an inaccurate meters estimate.
All right.
7.6 meters.
Okay, 7.6 meters. Although I think it's even smaller than that. I'm going to go
It's probably around 7. 6.5.
I would say 7 meters. If I know my meters, it's about 6.7 meters. It's a very, very dinky hill. Like not one, like maybe 3 ski lengths long, I would say.
Sure.
It's probably a better measurement. If that, actually, it's really nothing at all. But Ian's been wanting to learn and I've been wanting to teach him. I love to teach people things that I know how to do. So we finally, yesterday, got out there on the slopes, got our equipment, hit the slopes, and I kind of taught him how to ski a little bit. I mean, it still would not translate over to a real hill. That would be dangerous. But, you know, he learned just like he's never stepped in skis ever in his life. So he just like got used to the feeling a little bit and got used to like, you know, keeping his skis together, bending his knees, burning a little bit, pizza, you know, French fry, all
pizza
that
versus
jazz.
French fry. These are key steps.
Yeah. And it's something that we've been talking about doing for a long time. And we finally did it. And it was a lot of fun. And he's excited to learn more. I think next snow, we're going to go down to the Sugar Bowl in the cemetery, which is the hill that we grew up sledding in as neighborhood children.
Yes.
So I think we're going to maybe hit the Sugar Bowl next, you know, work our way up.
Work your way up to like Lost Valley or something, which is a very small ski slope in Auburn, Maine. Yeah,
we were talking about Lost Valley, going to Lost Valley, actually.
I'd love to go to Lost Valley because I want to reteach myself how to snowboard. Now that we have 3 PAs instead of 2 PAs, I'm ready to do dangerous things again.
Snowboarding, that seems
You
really
can easily break your wrist, and as someone who relies on their hand for work.
Yeah, I think you should stick to skiing. I don't think snowboarding is smart.
But it looks so cool.
But you'd be doing it.
That's true. Oh, burn.
Now, do you want to introduce the meat?
Yes. Now I'm ready to introduce the podcast. Yes. Oh my goodness. All right. Today we have an unconventional bagel bite.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, we're a little bit all over the place. You know, it's been, we get the holidays. We get the New Year.
It's the holidays.
We have COVID. One of us has COVID.
One of us has COVID.
Well, one of us has COVID. It's hard to do research with fever dreams. And
she's got a bad brain.
My brain doesn't work anymore. No, I'm once again, I am recovered. I'm just tired. So I figured today, why not give the people a little story time?
Yeah.
This is very similar to it's kind of in the same style as our No Box Just Bishop episode. If you guys remember that one.
A real classic. That's another favorite title. I didn't mention that.
That is a good title.
But No Box Just Bishop is so funny.
It's basically I tell you an embarrassing story from my life, and here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, I've actually got a couple of stories, but we'll see. I think the first one's gonna be long, so we'll see how we go with this one.
Okay, I was also gonna say, do you want to give it a title like we do for Pizza Secrets?
Yes, but I don't know what the title is. Give me a second.
Well, that's gonna be a problem.
Mine's called No Don't Gate, and this is a story about me going to the airport.
Oh boy.
Almost every year. And I say almost because, you know, things happen. I travel, my travel buddy, designated neurotypical, Gabriella, to a national park. And we enjoy the nature before climate change takes it away. So we've been doing this for a couple national parks now. And in this particular story, the plan was to go to Saguaro National Park in Arizona. Because we're both from the Northeast. We've never seen like a cactus in the wild before. So we were like, we got to. And so the plan was I fly out of PDX, best airport ever. Gabriella flies out of Cincinnati. Both our flights meet in Salt Lake, and then we take the same flight to Arizona. She does a lot of the scheduling of the Airbnb. She does a lot of scheduling of like what we're going to do. And my job was to get the rental car, which is very important.
Yes.
Rental car's in my name. Can't go anywhere without the rental car. This is all important information. Kind of.
Log it away.
If you've ever traveled with me, especially on a flight, you know that I am neurotic. is
or
an
even
understatement.
if you've just been listening to this podcast or you know Kristin at all, you can probably make that assumption that she's quite neurotic when traveling.
Yeah. With traveling, it's not my strong suit, although I've gotten better. And I usually get to the airport like 3 hours in advance. And I'm just like this ball of anxiety. It doesn't matter if I get there. It doesn't matter what time I get there. I could get there 24 hours in advance. I'm still going to be nervous until I'm like seated on the plane. And then I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah, it's like that, what's it called? When you have an appointment later in the day and so you're like stuck all day, the waiting mode.
Yes.
It's like you're in this intense waiting mode and you know you're going to have to do all these stressful things.
Yes.
Some like coming up soon. Yeah.
Right.
I also get anxious before a flight. Not the way that you do, but I do. I just want to like get it over with.
Yeah. So when I was living out west and I had to travel back to Maine for like all the holidays and stuff, I was just so like,
I hated that.
So uptight that I would take 2 Benadryls and drink a gin and tonic before every flight because I like couldn't calm down. Also, it's like great because you get like an automatic 4 hours of sleep. Flight's 5 hours, so it's perfect. You wake up just in time. I'm not good at the flying.
No,
but once I'm on, it's not being up in the air in the airport, in the plane. It's the going through security in the airport and trying to figure all of that out.
Same. I check my ticket like 1,000 times. I make sure,
Right.
you know, whether I have it or it's on my phone. I'm like obsessively checking, making sure. And then sometimes I still manage to like lose it.
Yes, I take screenshots. I send it to like my dad. Like, gotta have a reliable person. I put it in my Apple Wallet. I all the things. Anyway,
it's exhausting.
So it is insane. And then once like it's all for vacation, it's all for fun. It should be exciting. It's not enjoyable. My flight out of PDX takes off at 7:05 a.m. due to multiple emergencies. And all in all, a rolling dumpster fire of a day happening at the hospital I worked at currently. I did not get home until 1:30. And then I packed all my things. And then I get in bed. It's like 2:30. I have everything packed and ready to go. Clothes laid out, ready. The next day, I sleep through all 4 or 5 of my alarms. And I wake up to it.
You and Ian are so similar in that aspect. I knew it.
My flight takes off at 7:05. I wake up at 6:35 from a text saying, from Gabriella saying, hey, just checking in. Ha ha ha. You made it, right? To your flight.
That makes my stomach sick.
Instant panic. Like I've never felt sicker. If I ate anything, I would have vomited. So I'm like out of bed, instantly like fight or flight mode. It's definitely not either. I call an Uber and then I start instantly crying, like uncontrollable crying. I get dressed. I go outside. I wait for the Uber, still crying. I call my dad. I go, hey, I'm going to miss my flight. And he's like, I'm on the phone with Delta. I'm already on the phone with them. He's like, we'll figure it out. Just get to the airport. Whatever you do, just get to the airport. And I'm like, okay.
That was sweet of him.
And then I'm like, oh shit, I got to respond to Gab. And I go, funny thing. I'm not at the airport yet, but I'm going to figure it out. And she's like instantly calling. And I'm just like, hang up. I can't do it. I can't right now.
No.
She's like, what do you mean? Like, is this a joke? You must be kidding. And I'm like, not a joke. LOL. I'll call you later. Yeah.
I know Gab listens to this podcast. Sorry, Gab. But
yeah. Sorry, Gab. But like, I was so panicked. I couldn't even. The Uber comes, it's 6:40. I was like out of the house in 5 minutes. I don't even know. I've never done that before ever. And at the time I lived 15 minutes from the airport, which is great.
Wow. You're like when mothers are running on adrenaline and lift cars off their children.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. It's a story of heroes.
One of survival and strength.
I live 15 minutes from the airport. I get in the Uber. I go, if you can get me to the airport in under 10 minutes, I have $45 in cash and it will all be yours. And he just goes, it's like some old dude. He's like, sounds like you're going to miss your flight. And I'm just like, fuck you. And I didn't.
No time, Barry. Step on
right. I didn't say that to him, but I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, well, you're just not going to get $45 then. So I'm like talking to my dad. And, you know, he's got like my mom's phone on hold with Delta. Because he's a man about business. And
he is.
I know. It's like whenever I'm in crisis, I'm like, someone's going to handle me. And then he's on the phone with me just being like, just get to the airport. We'll figure it out at the airport. You'll get there. Just get to the airport and you can go figure it out. And he's looking at flights and he's like, it looks like the next one to like from Delta is probably the next morning. So the rental car is in my name, which is huge because then Gab wouldn't even be able to get to the Airbnb without the rental car. It was like, you know, like a series of events.
Unfortunate events.
Gab's still just like frantically being like, OMG, I'm still not sure if you're kidding.
You should have said, haha, JK, see you there.
That's what I should have.
I'm on my flight. I was just Joshua. Wouldn't that be crazy?
I'm like still hanging up on her. I'm like, I can't. I get to the airport 6:55. Flight leaves at 7:05. Before I'm even inside the airport, my shoes are off. They're in my hand. I'm ready to roll. Flying through security because it's PDX and they're the best airport ever. There's no one in the airport. I don't know why. It was a Saturday morning, but no one's there. The security guy is looking at my ticket. He's like, you might miss your flight. And I'm like, still hysterically bawling. I know. I'm like, this isn't helping. I'm hysterical at this point. And I don't know if someone called I don't know, but like everybody was aware I was in the airport basically. And so I like go, I look for my gate. It's at the other side of the airport. I don't put my shoes on. I'm full sprint through the airport, just still like,
There's an ogre. There's a troll in the dungeon. What you want to know?
I didn't even, it was just like snot and tears and just like full ugly cry. I didn't even brush my teeth that morning. Like, just straight up I heard myself being overhead call being like, Kristin, Stanhope, please get to the, I'm like, I'm on my way. And then I see the gate and there's a flight attendant kind of like waving in the distance and she's like yelling like, are you Kristin? There's probably like no more than 30 people in the entire airport, but everyone knew I was there.
Wow, you're like a celebrity.
Like, well, no, the opposite. She's like, are you Kristin? And what I meant to say was, yes, I'm Kristin. Please don't close the gate. I'm on my way. And what came out was, no, the gate. It was like this, like, spitting ugly cry. And then as I say that, I fall and trip on the and my shoes go flying and my water bottle goes flying. My suitcase is just like gone. And I just like face first, like rug burn.
God.
And I'm just like, and she's like, oh my God. A security guy helps me up. He's like, come on.
Do you have an aide with you? Do you need help?
Who's your caretaker? Who's your adult? And I'm like, I'm my adult.
Can I call someone for you? Are you lost?
Right. And I just want to get to my gate. And I still don't have my shoes on. And the flight attendant, I want to give her an award. I didn't even get her name, but she goes, I was just about to shut the gate, but then I saw you full dead on sprint. And she's like, I bet that's her. And I was like, it was me.
Oh, that was really sweet of her.
And she was like, she's like, let's get yourself, why don't you get your shoes on before you get on the airplane?
Let's get you cleaned up.
Yeah. And we'll get you, I was like, just don't close the gate. I just need to make my flight, couldn't even say words. And I was like, and then I kept saying, like, you waited for me? She's like, yep, we waited. With everybody's waiting for you to get on the airport, or onto the airplane. And another flight attendant comes out and he's like, I will get your bag for you. And let me help. Get your shoes on. Let's get you checked in. I have your bag. And I just go, you waited for me? And I get still snot, ugly cry. And then I have to do this horrible walk of shame past all the people I delayed the airplane for.
Yep.
And still crying, just I couldn't even control it. And
I bet that probably helped. They're probably like, okay, she has a reason. She has a good reason. It's okay that we waited.
An episode.
Yeah, exactly. Let's help this poor woman.
I got a lot of angry looks, and then they I think because they just wanted to get going, and I was just, when you're just like helpless and you don't even know where to start.
Yep.
And they're like, here's your seat. Please just sit. Don't move.
It's like, oh, sweetie.
Yeah, it was very much like that, and it was very much appreciated by me because I was just like not even thinking. And I sit in my seat, and I'm like, I made it. And then the last thing I was like, oh, I gotta text Marty, who's still on the phone with Delta. And I was like, made it. He's like, how the fuck did you do that? I was like, I don't know.
I cannot believe you made it.
And then I texted Gab, who paid for in-flight internet so she could text me and look for flights and stuff. And I was like, you're not gonna believe this. I actually made it. I'm sitting on the plane. She's like, I don't believe you, which is fair.
Yes.
I was like, no, I'm on the plane. I'm in my seat. I will meet you in Salt Lake City. She was so mad at me, which is fair.
You made it.
Like,
you made it.
She was just like, oh, all the stress.
You never should have involved her. She didn't need to know.
I know. I should. I know. But I had to tell her. She arrives in Salt Lake.
The neurotypicals don't need to see the behind the scenes. Let's just let them think that we always pull it off. Last minute Grace pulled it off effortlessly.
She has this one picture, and I'll have to post it. She posted it to Snapchat, and it was just like, one of us made it on time with plenty of time to spare, and one of us made it 2 minutes before the plane was going to take off. And it's like her smiling and me just like haggard.
That is literally an episode of Broad City, like that exact thing.
It was
and you are the Alana.
Yeah.
And at one point she tries to close her shoe so the gate doesn't close, like, because it's about to close, and she just nails the flight attendant in the head. So you are very much the Alana.
I try. That's the thing, though, is like and the response she got back from Snapchat is like, Kristin would never do that. She always gets to the airport like 5 hours ahead of time. It's very annoying. And I'm like, surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
it was not a great morning.
Yeah, you're either super, super early or something goes wrong and you're horribly late.
Right. And the second like I shut my phone off, I think it was, when you have like a really big adrenaline crash.
Yes.
And I didn't wake up until they woke me up. Like we landed.
I bet you were so tired.
And they were like, thank God.
She's out. She's down.
She's down. She's good.
Put herself down. Oh my
and
God.
that's my travel story.
That's incredible.
Everybody who's traveling, I hope that doesn't happen to you.
That's a feat of strength.
It's my greatest achievement, I would say.
I'm proud of you. Yeah, literally. That's phenomenal. Wait, so did you give the cab driver the tip or no?
No.
Play along.
No, because he said, you're going to miss your flight. And I said, okay, I guess you're not getting $45. I was angry and I was upset and I was also crying. You could at least tried.
Yeah.
And you know what?
To give lip, you
right.
could just like.
Sometimes on my way to the airport, I tell the Uber driver that story and they always laugh at me, but every single one of them would have been like, we would have made it there in 5. And I'm not asking people, please commit a crime for me, but kind of.
Skirt the law a little bit.
This one Uber driver, he was so funny. He was like, we would have made it there in 5. I would have brought your bags in for you. Like, we would have made it together.
I feel like as an Uber driver, you're waiting for the day, and as a cab driver, for someone to jump in and be like, step on it,
Yeah, $45 cash. That's a solid amount. That's a big tip.
Yeah, that's okay. It's pretty good.
For a 15-minute drive?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on where he stands with the law. Maybe he's got a lot of priors. Maybe he can't take another hit, Kristin. You ever think about that?
Very true. I guess I wasn't thinking about that. I was just like, I need to get to this airport. But I mean,
I'm the one that matters.
Exactly. This is what I've always said. It's all about me.
It's your story. Yeah.
Yep. I made it to the airport. We saw the cactuses. They were great.
Did you see any roadrunners?
I did. Not in the wild. It was like at a zoo, like a desert zoo. It was very interesting.
Desert zoo.
We did see, I was given this book all about Saguaro National Park, and they're like, you should look for this one cactus. It's called a cruciate cactus, and it's a genetic mutation. And we were like looking for this cactus everywhere. I'm like, it's on this hike. I know it is. And Gab is someone who likes to take lots of pictures, and I love her so much. She takes lots of pictures though, and I get impatient. And so she's trying and getting the sun, and I was getting very impatient and just fed up with her. And I was like, I just want to find this dumb cactus so I can move on with my life. And she's like, look behind you, as we're waiting like 20 minutes for her to take a picture of the sun. And behind me is the cactus we were looking for. And we're both like these two basic bitches like jumping up and down in the desert being like, we found it!
It's a desert miracle.
It's a desert miracle. It was actually a very great trip, except for that one little hiccup.
Yeah, rough start, but you made it, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you have a terrible travel story, please write us in at weirdswithfeather@gmail.com. I would love to hear it.
I wanted to have a happy ending, though, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah,
or I guess
it doesn't have to have a happy ending.
It'd be nice if you pulled it off, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like
if you pulled something,
stories.
how about this? If you've pulled off a miracle, please write us in at weirdswithfeather@gmail.com. That'd be great.
That's a great one, actually. That'd be a good alternative segment.
Yeah. And that's my little story time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was a good idea for a little bagel bite. I feel like we need to do more of those. They're fun. They're easy.
Yeah. If we have time, when we did we don't.
Oh, you got your quick one?
Rapid fire questions. And if you haven't listened to No Box Just Bishop, at the end we did these rapid fire questions. And I want to do the same ones again.
All right, we're going to make
rapid
it really
fire.
rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Absolutely.
Legit rapid fire.
Okay. Same questions, just a couple months apart. Here we go. Grace, what is the most random thing you have in your bag right now?
Random thing in my bag. I think I was going to do root beer barrels, but I think I did that last time. I think I had
Are they the same root beer barrels?
Yes.
Yes, because I was going to say I have the same ibuprofen tablets just sitting around. Okay, cool.
I got the same root beer barrels.
At least we're consistent.
Yep.
Great.
Antiques. Yes.
What is the most ridiculous thing you have cried about recently?
Oh, man. All right, you go first because I got to think about.
Okay. Last week I cried on my way home because it was my turn to do the dishes and I just really didn't feel like it, but I knew they had to be done. And then I got home and they were already done and I was really happy. And then I cried some more because I was so happy.
Happy cry. All right. Oh, now I know mine. Lucy's been barking the last 4 nights in a row at 3 a.m., waking us up and then barking at us. Barking
ghosts in the house.
Yeah, I think it's ghosts. And she won't stop barking at us, even if we take her out, even if we give her a little snack, won't stop barking at us. Yesterday morning, she was barking at me again, and I started crying. And I was just like, I can't live like this. And that really confirmed that I don't want a baby. Because by God, I was like, I can't do this. I broke down.
I feel that so much because I do the same thing with John Ralphio.
Yes, Grace. It was upsetting. Yes.
What is the most recent thing you have broken?
Broken the bong. Smashed it against the sink. I was cleaning it.
The big one?
No, I broke that a long time ago. Jan Borg. Kilowood. I broke that a long time ago.
He's broken?
Yep. And then since then we've gone through a bunch of them because we're breaking them. But recently I smashed the bottom on the sink while I was cleaning it. And now it's covered up with a bunch of tape. And it still works. What about you?
I broke my favorite tea mug that I really, really liked that I talked about on a different episode. I went to put it back and I guess I just missed the cabinet and just ended up just throwing it. I don't know.
I'm sorry to hear that. You smashed it is what we call in this house.
Yeah, I smashed it. Luckily it missed. I had right underneath the cabinet where I threw it. I don't know how it missed all these antique vintage punch mugs that I just bought, but it did. And instead of, at least it was the Goodwill mug and not the antique vintage mugs that got smashed. So that's fine.
Cool.
Grace.
Yes.
What is an everyday item that you are oddly obsessed with?
Oh, everyday item I'm oddly obsessed with. I mean, I don't know if this is an everyday item, but I got a walking treadmill recently and I'm obsessed with it and I think about it all the time and I love it. Oh, I also got a pink chandelier for my pink office room.
Ooh.
And I absolutely love it. And I guess it's an everyday item because I turn it on every day.
If it's every day to you, yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I bought a new kitchen towel, and it like the front appears like it's a tea towel, like it's a tea towel look, but the back is terry cloth, so it's actually like useful and absorptive, and I love it so much. And I have to find more like that because I like the look of tea towels, but I just think that they're useless. I might as well just have like tissue paper. It doesn't absorb anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Grace, how many current emails do you have in your inbox?
Current emails. It's a dangerous question, my friend. I have 22,115. How many do you have?
99.
Holy shit. What? Just barely beat me.
Grace.
Yes, Kristin.
What percent of apps in your phone are unused?
Like 99 at this point. I'm like,
okay.
I barely use apps.
I'm going to say I'm a solid 90%.
Nice.
No, I'm going to say I'm 85. I've been using some more recently.
All right, there you go.
Besides Candy Crush. Grace.
Kristin.
What article of clothing have you come to appreciate now more than ever?
This fucking turtleneck, my guy.
I was just going to compliment. It's a nice turtleneck.
Right? It's a nice turtleneck. Old Navy. That's where I get all my cozy clothes. This is a cozy, and normally I don't like a turtleneck because it feels too tight. This one's loose without being too like, it's not like a cowl neck, but it's also a waffle knit.
Ooh, I love
really
a good
like
waffle knit.
I like a waffle knit. So
That's
I'm
great.
really just like loving this green turtleneck.
It looks great.
Thank you. What about you?
Now more than ever, it's my LL Bean flannel pajamas because I love them so much. They're so cozy. Oh, you know what? Can I change my answer?
Yeah, sure.
I refound a pair of sweatpants from Rennie's that are the warmest fucking sweatpants I've ever had ever.
Ooh.
And I love them so much. I wear them until they're like disgustingly gross, and then I have to wash them. They're in the washer now. I love them. They're like super, I don't know what they're made out of, but they're so freaking warm. But yeah, those ones. Nice. They were $7 at Rennie's.
Hell yeah. Rennie's, a main adventure.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all I got for you folks. That's okay. I mean, I can talk for more time.
No, we're past our limit.
Okay. So I thought.
That's a good stopping place, right past our limit. So that was our little bagel bite. Big bagel bite, I guess. Juicy
bagel, bigger than usual bite.
It's good you made so much room in your tasty little mouths.
Yeah, and now guaranteed to fill your mouth.
Yeah, you'll be satiated and happy and on your way, hopefully. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. And we're done now. You can find us on all the socials. You know where to find us. We don't need to say this every time, do
Instagram,
we?
Facebook,
I feel like we don't.
Not TikTok. You can send us an email at weirdsandfeather@gmail.com. You can buy us a coffee. That's always an option. It's not obligatory, but it
would be nice.
Awfully nice.
Would be nice.
You ready to squawk out?
Yeah, I was gonna say one more thing. I can't remember. So it doesn't matter.
Oh, you can follow, and subscribe.
Well, I was gonna say maybe for the new year for 2023, wouldn't it be a nice thing to do if you wrote us a review if you haven't already? If you wrote us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wouldn't that be a nice thing to do for us in the new year? And then you get to hear us read it later on the podcast, and that's a nice thing for you as well. So just think about it. Just like think about it. Think it over.
Noodle on it.
Noodle on it. Become a noodle person and noodle on it. All right, let's squawk on out. Nice.
Ooh, that's a nice loon.
Thank you. Practicing.